Yes.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I am indeed thankful to the Honorable Member, Srimati Geeta Mukherjee, for moving an important resolution in this August House. This resolution is mainly concerning the public enterprises, and it is also concerning mainly the problem of workers working in these public enterprises. Mr. Chairman, sir, I must say that I am also thankful to all the members who have participated in the debate. I am sure that their participation in the debate will be very much useful to me while taking decisions in my day-to-day working. Sir, it is true that when these public enterprises were started by the great Prime Minister of our country, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, he had the best of intentions, and his only intention was to make our country economically strong and sound. His intentions were very honest, and also it is true that to a certain extent, some public enterprises have really worked in the spirit in which Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru wanted us to work, and they have been successfully working. As admitted by some of the members, it may not be right to say that all the public enterprises are bad. And therefore, I was very happy that one of the members, by expressing his thoughts in this House, he mentioned about the categories of public enterprises, and he did mention that some of the public enterprises are in the category of exigent, and I must say that some of the public enterprises are better than the private enterprises also. There are some enterprises which are running a loss. I have about the figures before me about the investment and also some necessary information. There are about 240 central PSUs, public sector undertakings, on 31st March 1998, and the total investment was about 2,40,054 crores. Out of these 240 central PSUs, 236 were in operation and 4 were under construction. During the year 97-98, 136 PSUs earned profit of rupees 20,267 crores. 100 PSUs incurred net loss of rupees 6,541 crores. And 2 enterprises neither earned any profit nor incurred any loss. Thus, the PSUs as a whole earned a net profit of rupees 13,725 crores during the year 97-98. Sir, this shows that the general impression which is created that the public enterprise means a loss is also not absolutely correct. I do not deny that this is our responsibility, that whatever public enterprises are running in loss, they are also to be brought in profit. But it is the responsibility of all of us to improve upon the image of our own public enterprises. Sir, I have seen that sometimes we ourselves may be also responsible for damaging the image of our own public enterprises, and therefore I really read the resolution of Srimati Geeta Mukherjee again and again. She had certain points which she had made in the resolution. The first point was, she has expressed her concern over the increasing number of public sector undertakings falling sick and government's decision to close down 12 such undertakings, resulting in the loss of employment of thousands of workers and employees and non-payment of their wages and allowances and disinvestment of public sector undertakings, including even profit-making undertakings, and therefore she has urged the government, firstly, stop closure of sick public sector undertakings. Secondly, she says, take steps to revive the viable sick public sector undertakings and formulate a comprehensive policy to improve their functioning. Thirdly, review the disincentive policy. Fourthly, make immediate payment of dues of employees. And lastly, she says, frame policies to rehabilitate the ousted workforce due to closure. At the outset, I must make a clear statement in the House that no closure as such has been made in public sector undertaking. It is true that number of cases are found to be sick. They have been sent to BIFR. But when the matter goes to BIFR in case of a public sector, it has a desire to revive and not to close. And I'm sure that the honorable member is also aware that last time when such desire was expressed by BIFR to close down the public sector undertakings, the number was 10. The review committee was appointed by this government, because the government intention is quite clear that as far as possible, we would not like to close the public sector undertakings as far as possible. But at the same time, the government also desires that a certain definite policy will have to be found out, which, as regards disincentives, disinvestment, the government has, as regards disinvestment, the policy has been declared by the government and which we are following now. So the first question which was mentioned here about closure of the public undertakings, it is not that the public undertakings are going to be closed without making best of its effort to keep them working. The intention here seems that we must take the care of the workers. the rehabilitation of the workers should be given maximum importance, which is also being done. What is required according to me is, sir, the crystal clear approach to the problem.
Please.
I am thankful to the members.
Yes, sir. इस संकल्प पर 2 घंटे नियत किए गए थे और 1 घंटा बढ़ाया गया था, वह भी समाप्त होने आया है। सदन से मेरा अनुरोध है कि माननीय मंत्री महोदय के उत्तर और श्री गीता जी के उत्तर तक इस पर समय अवधि बढ़ाई जाए। अगर सदन सहमत हो तो क्या किया? थैंक यू।
And therefore, a very clear approach of the government can be made on this issue only because of this resolution, and therefore I am indeed thankful to her once again for raising this issue in this August House. So the policy of the government is quite clear. I have noted the policy. The policy is, the government's concern is to ensure that the PSUs are strengthened. We do not want to weaken them because they get slowly closed. That's not the intention of the government. Secondly, the action is expedited to revive loss making and sick PSUs with minimal hardship to employees. I know there may be some hardship to the employees, but we feel that there should be, as far as possible, no hardship to the employees, and the revival has to be done. Thirdly, the dues of employees are not withheld. Fourthly, where structural changes become necessary, the transition is not painful. And lastly, disinvestment is accompanied by reinvestment for redesigning the economy. Sir, I made these points only because I always felt that the government must be clear in its own mind as to what the government desires to do. And this clearly indicates that the government is not puzzled. The government has no two thoughts. The government has decided to strengthen these PSUs. And also at the same time, I thought that the question which is raised by number of honorable members here as to why these PSUs are becoming sick. What are the reasons for becoming these PSUs sick? I have found the 10 reasons why these PSUs have become sick. There may be some more reasons, or I will have to add some more reasons after I have heard the honorable members in the House. And I must also say that it is not something that the public sector industries become sick. We all know, and particularly those who are in the business or industry know, that even private industries become sick. Not that only the government industries are becoming sick, or only public undertakings are becoming sick. The private industries are also today on the way of closure. They are also facing problems, and when we meet them, they are also telling us the effects of recession all over the world. And also a number of other reasons which might be equal to the weakening of the public enterprises. Since we are discussing about the PSCs, I would only say that the 10 reasons which we have noted, number one is obsolete technology, the technology that is in our country, in our India, which is available today, has become probably the old technology, and the new technology is taking shape every minute outside our country. It may be easy to say that why don't you bring that technology to our country? But sir, it may not be possible in practice to bring technology every day in our country. It has not become possible even for the private enterprise to bring technology with the speed in which they want to bring it to our country. And therefore, I myself visited the HMT for which reference was made here. I went to Bangalore and I tried to see the factory of HMT, and sir, I must say that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru had said that HMT is the jewel of our country. And sir, it is really the jewel of our country. But the HMT is also suffering from losses. It has more than the losses of about 300 crores of rupees. But if someone goes and sees the HMT, their head office, or their other units also, we certainly say that we are proud of the company like HMT even today. But the technology, sometimes I'm talking about the watch manufacturing unit of HMT, the world is going so fast with new technology, the way in which they manufacture watches, and the speed with which we manufacture watches, it makes a difference. None should feel that we are incompetent, nor that our workers are not competent to manufacture best of the possible watches in our country. Even in our country, the another company, which I would not like to name them here, is manufacturing very good watches. So it is true that the technology which is at present in the PSUs has to be replaced. But as rightly said, if we are not in a position to give the workers wages, their salaries in some of the cases, how can we infuse more money for bringing new technology in these companies? Sir, the only way out was disinvestment, which was adopted to find out that the new technology will be able to bring in, and with the help of new technology, we will be able to compete in the world market. Lack of economy of scale in manufacture, prolonged insulation from competition, availability of cheaper and better products from imports, lack of orders. Sir, it is true that in some cases, since when the public enterprises were started, there was the guarantee of orders, for instance, the railway wagons. And there were public enterprises which were manufacturing only wagons, but now the wagons manufacturing will always depend on the requirement of railway department. And if their demand goes down, then they will not ask for wagons, the wagons will not be manufactured, and the department comes into, the particular public enterprise department comes into a great difficulty. I have only given one illustration, but there are number of illustrations of this nature can be given. Low productivity, surplus manpower. Sir, it is true that I would urge upon the entire House to understand that the very design of the public enterprises and private enterprises is different. The public enterprise has a social angle behind the work. public enterprises do not work only for profit purposes. They also want to consider the aspect of employment in the country. And therefore, when it was a monopoly business, they could do it, they could prosper. And the excess manpower was also taken, maybe at the request of the representatives of people from different parts of the country. Maybe because the people at that time thought that the company may prosper in future, and therefore the excess manpower was inevitable because that was taken from the social aspect also. And now to go ahead with this particular manpower has become a difficult task. And there, the role of the unions is also important. I've been always saying that it's not only that if you really, all of us desire to improve upon this public enterprises business, it's not impossible to do that. But then the cooperation from all sections will be necessary, including the unions and their leaders. Sir, this surplus manpower has also created a lot of problems. Even in case of disinvestment, the people always ask how many people are working, and in some cases they say that this work does not require even the 1/3 force of what is employed today. And then when the question comes of reducing the people over there, it becomes really a difficult problem, and therefore also the disinvestment work is also not going ahead with the speed with which we really wanted it to go ahead. The social overheads and commitments, I would not like to go into this, but there are social overheads and commitments in these companies. When some of my friends were talking corruption in public enterprises, they have just forgotten that the corruption is not only in public enterprises, it has gone to all spheres of life. And therefore, I'm not defending the corruption in public enterprises. If anybody gives a concrete example, I see that to that extent it is stopped. But at the same time, it is everywhere, and therefore it has become really a very difficult task. Gross neglect by erstwhile private owners of those units which government was compelled to take over in public interest. Sir, out of this total public interest, if you go into detail, you will find that at least 30 to 40% of the public enterprises were taken under coercion. That coercion was in the public interest. Somebody did not want to keep them, therefore we have taken them. We did not go into details whether it will run in future in profit, whether this will create problem for us, whether it is necessary to take such type of. Sir, I must say that no private persons would have taken these type of industries which are risky to take, which are from a point of view of business, are not advisable to take, but they were taken. That government decision that time was not bad, and therefore it is also not good now to criticize the government because we have taken that responsibility that time. That time we all appreciated, we said, now also the people as regards textile mills, Mr. Mohan Rao will understand, the people only came and asked us that the NTC must be done and all mills, sick mills should be taken. If you ask the government to take such mills in the interest of protection of workers, and thereafter, if we are unable to run the mills, how can the government be held responsible for such activities, sir? It is beyond the control of the government to run such type of mills, and so is the case with the enterprises also. So there are some other.
मंत्री महोदय को विनंती करना चाहता हूँ, जो पैकेज डील अभी सरकार ने लाया था, वस्त्र उद्योग मंत्रालय ने लाया था, वो पूरा क्यों नहीं कर रहे, जिसकी वजह से सारे बिल चल सकती है। इसके लिए आप शीघ्र गति से कार्रवाई करें।
मैं कार्यवाही शीघ्र गति से करूंगा, लेकिन आपका जो जवाब है इस प्रश्न का वो शीघ्र गति से नहीं दूंगा, जब मैं वो पेपर पर आ जाऊंगा तभी जवाब दूंगा।
ओके ओके
सर, दैट इज व्हाई आई वाज सेइंग दैट माय रिप्लाई, आई एम जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द जनरल पॉइंट्स, इंडिविजुअल केस आई टेक लेटर ऑन। सर, therefore these were some of the reasons, these were the causes why the companies are becoming sick. I'm also in agreement that sometimes the managements are not good. As the members have already said, sometimes there are political interference. Sometimes there is a dual machinery which is working, that also creates problems. But to say that and to blame the CMDs of public enterprises may be sometimes a great injustice to them also. I see some of them are really working hard. They are trying sometimes to bring the company out of difficulty. Yes.
There is an inordinate delay in the appointments of the chairmen and managing directors or the existing PSUs because of the formalities. Whether the government will contemplate to simplify the formalities so that the chairmen and managing directors can be appointed easily without further delay.
I have noted your point, and the reply is, I agree with your point. It is absolutely true that the delay takes place because there is a lot of procedure. And when someone wants to be transparent, there is a lot of more procedure. It's not a defect in public enterprises, it is a defect of a democracy, that when you want the things to be clear to everyone, to the parliament and to the public at large and to the press also, then naturally the matters are delayed. That's the only reason, but still we will try to shorten.
Please.
Why can't the minister approve?
I understand, but in some cases the ministers are allowed to.
Please.
There are some limits, yes.
मान्यवर एक
So, sir,
निवेदन
there
था
Please.
are, my only point was not only the officers, not only about the management,
सर
but
इसमें
sir, a
एक
very good,
माननीय मंत्री महोदय, आप जितने समर्पित भाव से एचएमटी का पुनरुद्धार करने के लिए या सुधार करने के लिए प्रयत्नशील है, सचेष्ट है, उसके लिए तो प्रशंसा करते हैं, लेकिन एक निवेदन करते हैं कि पहले वीआरएस के अंतर्गत जिन लोगों को अवकाश प्रदान कर दिया गया था, सब बेनिफिट्स का आश्वासन देने के बाद उनको कुछ तो दे दिए गए, कुछ दे नहीं रहे हैं, उसके बाद वो 1 साल से चक्कर काट रहे हैं, तो उनकी समस्या का भी हल करने का प्रयत्न करें ताकि उनको कठिनाइयों का सामना नहीं करना पड़े।
I have taken up the issue that he is referring to. आपने जो कहा वो प्रश्न मैंने उठाया है और इस प्रश्न पर मेरी बात हो रही है, क्योंकि मैं जानता हूं कि लोगों को कबूल किया था, वो जाने के लिए तैयार है। गवर्नमेंट यदि जल्दी पैसा दे देंगे तो वहाँ के तो more than, if I do not remember the right figure, but number of workers have shown willingness that we are prepared to take VRS and we are prepared to. Fortunately, in HMT, the union and the people are very cooperative, and therefore I am confident that the matter will be settled as soon as possible.
Please.
As soon as possible.
हो गया आपका।
Sir, the reason is only not about the officers, but there should be always level playing field also. Some honorable member also mentioned about it here. I'm not a student of economics, but also I understand that it seems that there is no level playing field. This complaint was made to me by the private sector, heavy industries association, also in CII meeting. Number of closures are taking place in private industries also, as in case of the possibility and the fear that is expressed here. Only because of zero duty formula which has been taken into consideration. On one side, we are charging the minimum duty or zero duty on the imported goods, therefore they become cheaper. And on the other side, there are number of taxes being charged for the products which are done in our own country. And therefore, the final product becomes so much expensive that nobody would be desirous of buying them. Sir, this has also created a problem, and I have assured the representatives of different unions, representatives of different companies, that I will discuss this problem with the Honorable Prime Minister, and we bring it to his notice that if there is no level playing field, it will be difficult for these industries to survive, because I have noticed that there are complicated problems, but this issue also will have to be tackled. So these are some of the reasons which I have noted, and of course I know there may be some more reasons which I would like to go into it. Sir, is it not possible to improve upon this? Sir, is it not possible to find out the ways and means to see that we overcome the fear in our own mind by finding out the measures to see that Sikh industries need not be closed? The basic objective of the government has been made clear as regards the revival. Somebody, I'm sure that the question was also raised about the BIFR, and I corrected the information also that the BIFR working is also taking a long time. This also needs an application of mind. But when I was sitting in the other house, there the BIFR has, there also it was said, it was against by one of the honorable member that the government is not furnishing the information to BIFR whatever is required. I would only say that this requires more attention. As regards the number of members, this was set up in 1987, and now there are 6 members and 1 chairman, which is at present with BIFR. Sir, therefore the Sikh Industrial Companies Act (SICA) makes it obligatory to refer units that have lost their net worth to BIFR. The BIFR is an arrangement to revive Sikh units where possible. It appoints an operating agency. It formulates a rehabilitation package in consultation with financing institutions, the government, management, employees, and other agencies. Sir, this is a quasi-judicial body. If this work is given to some other authority, I am afraid whether there may be doubts, suspicions created in the minds of the people, again, whether those bodies may work properly. What is necessary is to put up a time limit for the government, to financial institutions, and also to certain extent to BIFR to settle the problems at certain prescribed time. If that can be done, it will be fine. The rehabilitation package includes write-off of past losses, conversion of past loans into equity, infusion of fresh equity, relief from past liabilities, and provision of guarantees for fresh borrowings. Reconstruction of enterprises is also thus attempted. And therefore, I personally feel that this should not be done away with, it should be continued. Sir, in 1991, only 2 figures I would like to give to the House instead of taking more time of the House. Sir, in 1991-92, the profit-making PSCs earned profit of rupees 6,079 crores. And now this has increased to 20,267 crores in 97-98 by 233%. That means the percentage of profit has increased to a very large extent in these PSUs also. Sir, I must say that this shows that the PSUs have also been successful to a large extent. Lastly, I would say only about disinvestment. Disinvestment has become must because these units were expected to be independent. They have not become. If disinvestment is not done, no money will come. The suggestion which was made here while the debate was on, that the money which we get from the disinvestment, the part of the money should be given for those companies which are being run in losses. That was my suggestion also. In one of my speeches, I had said this. 10% amount has been created as a fund, whether from that also it can be done. I will have to push this matter further, and this procedure of disinvestment, we have to go ahead with all the difficulties. Sir, I would not be able to reply to all the queries which the members have raised here, but Srimati Geeta Mukherjee had, while making her points, she had raised the question about gag shares, and according to her, those shares were sold at cheaper price. I think the reply was given by the Honorable Finance Minister in the House, and a detailed reply was given. The sale of the shares, the price of the share depends upon the time when the shares are sold out. There was a controversy in the newspapers about this, and the detailed reply has been given. I do not want to take the time of the House by going into it. She had also said BIFR has been a failure, but also I have replied that. She has also said hard decisions will have to be taken as regards the workers' problem, and I'm in agreement that some other member has also given the same suggestion, and he said that as regards the PSU, जो बंद करने के कारखाना है वो त्वरित बंद करे और थोड़े कड़े कदम उठाते हैं तो सब कुछ करना होगा, नहीं तो तुम है रानी मैं हूँ रानी कौन भरेगा पानी, ऐसी स्थिति हो जाएगी। मुझे याद है क्योंकि मैं उस समय यहाँ सभागृह में था और मिस्टर रावत द ऑनरेबल मेंबर हैज सेड दिस। मुझे मालूम है कि इस विषय में एक पॉलिसी बनानी पड़ेगी। आई एम सीरियसली थिंकिंग दैट ऑन दिस ऑल PSU मैटर्स a white paper will have to be issued, and the white paper will be really a guideline for the government to work and also for the PSUs to improve upon. I'm considering whether such type of paper should be issued, and this paper will be exhaustive in its nature, and at the time of issuing such paper also, such type of discussions will be very much useful. The members have raised number of questions. I have really noted all the questions, but sir, since you have indicated me that my time is over, I may not be able to go into details of all the questions here, but I must say that the continuous monitoring body as suggested is a good suggestion. I am inclined to accept this suggestion of a monitoring body as regards the PSUs, and also the review has to be done from time to time as regards the progress which is done. Sir, for want of time, I am not in a position to reply all the queries which are raised, but I can assure that all the important questions which are raised, they will be replied to the honorable members directly. The last question which Mr. Mohan Rao had asked me here, and I had assured him in the House itself that I will reply you before I complete my speech. I would only tell the honorable member, Mr. Mohan Rao, that the question of maize, textile mix, not only in Maharashtra state, all over has become a serious question, and therefore what has become necessary is the diversification from time to time. The diversification will be necessary as it is done in other business, and therefore the other business survive. You cannot always say that we will go ahead only with the same business, though the same business has no demand. You cannot go with the same machinery, you cannot go with the same business. Someone also raised the point of interest rate also. In foreign countries, the interest rate is only, sir, 2 or 3%, and in our country, the industrialist is expected to go ahead with the business with the interest rate of 17, 18, 19, and sometimes 20% also. And therefore, it becomes really difficult to go ahead with it. So the intention of the government, I must say that Srimati Mukherjee will understand that the interest of the government, it's quite clear that we are very serious on the issue. We want to rehabilitate the workers very nicely. We have also started not only VRS but VSS scheme also. Otherwise, they would not have got the money which they are getting today. And therefore, this government is interested in running the industry. They are interested in a good rehabilitation of workers. They are interested in cooperation of all the sections of the House. And therefore, with this, and also since we have decided we are thinking to considering to issue a white paper, I would just request Srimati Mukherjee to withdraw the resolution that she has moved. With this few
Srimati
words,
Geeta Mukherjee.
sir, I complete my speech. Thank you very much.